Both data and feeling are your friends. They should work in tandem, both respected, both listened to, both also treated with a healthy dose of skepticism. Ultimately, you want what is best for both your user and your business. That's what you are trying to figure out. Number 1, let's start with feeling. Feeling is your intuitive design sense, what feels right with a design, what feels like it works well or looks good. Where do these feelings come from, and can you trust them? I believe your feelings or design intuition stem from your subconscious reservoir or your taste of design. It is built from your own learning and exposure to design, what you've studied, what you've looked at, what you've filled your brain with. The more you hone your design sensibilities through practice, study, exposure, and experience, the more you can probably trust your gut feelings as they reflect your understanding of what makes great design. Your gut feelings are an important tool and shouldn't be ignored. Sometimes, especially before you've launched the product and begin to see how people use it, your intuition might be all that you have to go by. So you should absolutely go with it. Be confident in your feeling and don't discount it. However, know that it may be wrong sometimes, and you should always aim to improve it. Here's where that healthy dose of skepticism comes in. In this regard, data is your balancing friend, as it can either confirm or disprove your initial intuitions. Number 2, so let's take a look at data. Data reflects what people are actually doing with your platform and how they're using your product. Is your design working? You can collect data via A/B tests, where you track the success or failure of 2 or more design variations. You can collect data through analytics and event tracking that determine success rates of these flows. You can also collect data through user testing or user surveys, or simply by the most common support requests. This can reveal pain points for customers. What does your data tell you? What's working and what's not? With the Scottish Robis site, some things I could test are: 1, does this or this sign-up flow work better? An A/B test. 2, same with the checkout flow, another A/B test. Number 3, what landing pages have the best conversion rate? 4, test if people are watching videos all the way through. 5, test if people are completing courses. Testing your designs and how successful they are is testing your assumptions. This can often very quickly reveal when something is or is not working. If it's not working, go back to the designer circle and try something else. Coming back to feeling, we must remember that data isn't perfect. Be skeptical of it and our testing conclusions. We shouldn't just blindly listen to what the data says. Data can be faulty. It can give false positives, where it may appear to reflect a conclusion, but in reality isn't seeing the bigger picture. Say, for example, you did an A/B test and the data concludes that neither of your designs are really working. However, the problem may actually not be with either design, but from a marketing perspective. Perhaps you are marketing to the wrong audience, and no matter what you do, your sign-up flow will appear to be failing because the people finding your application just aren't interested. Thus, we see that both feeling and data are great tools that you should utilize. But these tools should be used along with that healthy dose of skepticism and thus balance between the two. Create a nice feedback loop for yourself. If you have data giving you a very clear conclusion about a design and it makes sense, then trust it. Try something new and retest it. If you have very strong feeling, even if some data says otherwise, go with that feeling. But test it again later and see if your data verifies it. If I'd put it as succinctly as I could, it would be: trust your gut feelings, but use data to verify them and be willing to adjust accordingly.